Welcome to The Explainer, where today we are diving deep into structuring your code bases for AI compatibility. We're actually pulling insights right from the front lines of AI-assisted software engineering, specifically from a really eye-opening conversation with Rohde Davis. And yeah, he's a top genetic engineer, but right now he's leading dev tooling over at Google, which honestly just goes to show how beautifully multidisciplinary the future of coding is getting. We are going to uncover exactly how you need to set up your environment to work seamlessly with AI. But first, we've got to start with a pretty dire warning about the path a lot of developers are on right now. So let's jump right into this chilling prediction from Rohde regarding the absolute dangers of unchecked, unstructured AI code generation. He warns that vibe coding, where developers just loosely prompt an AI and blindly accept whatever massive block of code it spits out, is setting the whole industry up for a massive fall. Without proper structure and oversight, this hands-off approach is literally a ticking time bomb. Why? Well, because it rapidly accumulates this invisible technical debt. The human developer approving the output doesn't actually understand the connective tissue of the code they just merged. So when it inevitably breaks, and it will break, they won't have a clue how to fix it.
And look, there is this really dangerous myth circulating right now that we can just brute force our way out of this problem. A lot of folks think that if we just get larger and larger context windows, allowing the AI model to read 1 million or more tokens at once, poof, all our problems are solved. But the reality? The biggest bottleneck in AI speed actually isn't the context window size at all. It's poor codebase health. If your codebase is a tangled, nested mess, feeding 1 million tokens of that mess into an AI is only going to confuse it more. It creates these competing logic paths within the model, causing the agent to completely lose the thread of your actual prompt and just hallucinate wildly. Think about the cascading effect of this. The next booming tech job won't necessarily be building shiny new apps. It's much more likely going to be digital janitorial work. Literally, consulting to clean up the catastrophic disasters left behind developers who treated AI like some magic autocomplete wand. Applications that get a sudden spike in popularity but were built entirely on chaotic vibe coding, they are going to shatter under pressure, and companies will be paying top dollar for actual structural engineering to stabilize them. So, how do we avoid becoming a cautionary tale and actually set up our work for true AI collaboration?
Well, let's get right into Pillar 1, context compressors, or writing cheat sheets for agents.
If poor codebase health is our biggest enemy, then these context compressors, which are often called skills, are absolutely our greatest weapon. To really grasp what a skill is, think about this analogy. Standard prompting is kind of like giving the AI an open book test. Sure, the correct answers are somewhere in that massive million-token textbook, but the AI wastes precious compute and time searching for it, often losing its focus along the way. A skill, on the other hand, acts as a highly optimized one-page cheat sheet. In practice, it's usually a specific markdown file or a finely tuned system prompt that contains the exact rules, the file paths, and the syntax your current codebase relies on. It makes the AI incredibly fast and hyper-focused. The true power of this approach is just how modular it becomes. You can deploy these specific skills on a per-project basis. So instead of endlessly retraining the agent or writing massive paragraphs-long prompts every single time you open a project, you just attach the relevant cheat sheet. Like, do you need the AI to perfectly follow your specific visual guidelines? Just attach the ShadGN UI skill. Need it to understand how your back-end data syncing works without completely breaking your database? Attach the Firebase skill. It's all about feeding the agent precisely what it needs to execute the task and absolutely nothing more. Now, abstract advice is great, but let's turn this into a tangible, automated workflow. Let's be honest with ourselves. Humans are naturally lazy. We are inevitably going to forget to manually update these cheat sheets as the codebase evolves. So the secret sauce here is delegating the maintenance of that context right back to the AI itself. Rohde recommends creating a specific skill that runs as a deterministic script. It automatically hunts down folders missing context files, checks for documentation that's older than the code itself, and then prompts the agent to read the new code and update its own cheat sheets. Run this as a scheduled task, and you guarantee your AI always has the freshest possible instructions. Moving right along to Pillar 2, the Bonsai Artist Architecture, which is all about pruning your code for AI collaboration. When you're fully leveraging AI, you are producing a massive amount of code at an unprecedented velocity. To keep this rapidly growing codebase healthy, you really have to adopt a bonsai artist mindset. You must constantly prune the code to keep it simple, straightforward, and trackable. To achieve this bonsai-level simplicity, you want to heavily advocate for flat architectures that strictly separate your state, your UI, and your data into distinct shallow layers. Deeply nested, overly clever folder structures, they completely break an AI's brain because they obscure the relationships between files. A flat sandbox is infinitely easier for an agent to successfully navigate. You could actually think of this flat architecture not just as a preference for human readability, but as a proactive, defensive coding strategy against AI hallucinations. Because these boundaries are so relentlessly clear, you're going to instantly know if the agent is wandering off track. If your AI suddenly tries to drop complex data fetching logic directly into a UI component folder, the flat architecture makes that mistake stick out like a sore thumb. You catch it at a glance, allowing you to quickly steer the agent back and remind it to respect those strict boundaries. And here is a massive workflow hack that leverages how these models actually think. By writing the very first clean example yourself, you essentially create a gold standard template. AIs are, at their core, sophisticated pattern matching machines, right? So this uses a concept similar to few-shot prompting. You define the exact structure of your state, UI, and data layers perfectly in the first couple of files. Once the AI absorbs that strict, clean, flat pattern, it totally stops guessing. It simply copies and scales your established logic across the rest of the codebase, which dramatically reduces structural errors. This brings us to Pillar 3, Strategic AI Code Review. Knowing exactly when to meticulously review versus when to just trust your tests. With your architecture pruned and your context perfectly compressed, your agents are going to be churning out features incredibly fast. Which brings up the next vital challenge. How on earth do you review all of it? You simply can't review every single line generated by AI at the speed it works. You have to split your energy strategically based on the blast radius of a potential error. If an AI slightly hallucinates HTML logic for a simple marketing site, the stakes are incredibly low. Just look at the visual output. Are the shapes right? Is the text contrast accessible? If yes, move on. But for back-end API interfaces, like those written in Go, you have got to meticulously scrutinize these schemas 100%. Even a tiny hallucinated change to a back-end API schema can cause massive downstream headaches, breaking mobile apps, third-party integrations, and database records all at the same time. But here's the payoff. Because you put in the hard work to build those strict boundaries back in Pillar 2, you can confidently step back here in Pillar 3. Once those vital back-end contracts and schemas are solidified and deeply reviewed by you, you secure the borders. From there, you just let the AI fill in the remaining territory. Like Rohde explains, if the tests pass and the architectural boundaries hold firm, you can absolutely let the AI's generated test suites dictate the pass or fail for the surrounding internal logic. Basically, you review the scaffolding and you trust the passing tests for the walls. Let's wrap things up by looking at the developer's evolving role and how we're eliminating cognitive toil. Let's look at how adopting these 3 pillars fundamentally shifts your daily professional life. The ultimate goal here is to eliminate cognitive toil. That exhausting, brain-draining process of looking up obscure syntax, writing boilerplate files, and chasing down missing imports. These are all things AI now does in seconds. Ultimately, your value is no longer measured by the raw number of code lines you produce, but by your ability to orchestrate complex workflows. You are hired to engineer solutions and solve high-level problems. AI frees up your mental bandwidth so you can transition from being a mere typist into a true system architect. By leveraging agent-first platforms and toolkits like the Google Antigravity 2.0 suite, you can create incredibly rich feedback loops. You can use AI to compress context and generate heavily detailed design artifacts that are instantly ready for your UI designers. You can build completely dynamic, just-in-time applications that localize into Spanish, Hindi, or Japanese effortlessly. And honestly, perhaps most excitingly, you can experiment with completely new frameworks and deploy full prototypes over a single weekend. That's a feat of learning and execution that used to require months of dedicated study. So as you structure your codebase for AI compatibility using reusable skills, flat architectures, and targeted code reviews, you really have to ask yourself how you will use these newly acquired superpowers. Are you going to be the bonsai artist, confidently guiding the agent to build a scalable future? Or will you be the digital janitor, hired to clean up the chaotic, vibe-coded messes of tomorrow? The code architecture you establish today effectively decides your job title tomorrow. That is all for this explainer. Start writing those cheat sheets, prune those folders, and start orchestrating your agents.